looking at the plants that produce flowers, we now have the Cryptogamae, which are plants that don't have flowers for reproduction, and they reproduce by means of spores. So let's open up. Here's an example. Does this look like the plant you know? It is a plant. It just does not have flowers. The Cryptogamae, the division of cryptogams, includes plants which have no flowers. In olden times, people did not know how they reproduced, or at least their mode of reproduction was not as visible as that of the flowering plants with their conspicuous stamens and pistils. So all the flowerless plants were included in one division, and to this was given the name cryptogams. The name is composed of two Greek words meaning kryptos, which means secret or hidden, and gamos, which means marriage. As all our other subdivisions, Cryptogamae is further subdivided into thallophytes, pteridophytes, and bryophytes. The thallophytes, from the Greek word thallos, means young shoot. The bryophytes, or musci, meaning bryon, and Latin muscus, means moss. And the pteridophytes, or filicales, from the Greek word pteris and Latin word filix, both mean fern. Phyton is the Greek word for plants. Thus, the three branches of these non-flowering plants include thallus plants, moss plants, and fern plants. The multiplication of the cryptogams cannot take place by means of seeds because seeds grow through the fructification of a flower, and cryptogams have no flower. There are some very simple cells called spores which are produced by the plants included in this division, and it is through these that the plants multiply. The particular mode of reproduction of each branch is described in the respective envelopes. So let's look at some examples of our non-flowering plants. We've read them. Let's see some examples. Here we have liverworts. Here's another one, lichen. Here is another one, ginkgo. No flowers. Here is another one, pine. Here is another one, horsetails. Here is another one, spruce and snow. How interesting. Can we compare it to a flowering plant? Let me bring some that flower. Look at the dandelion plant. Look at the iris plant. So we can see the difference between the flowering and non-flowering. One common thing is they're much more colorful. The flowering plants are much more colorful than the non-flowering plants. Let me tell you something about the horsetail. The horsetails, which grow in wet riparian environments, also on timeline, have lots of American history in it. The silica in the cells of horsetails are very hard because silica is made of glass. So these horsetails are very hard. In California, the native people would eat the horsetails and it would grind down their teeth. When it is time to reproduce, the horsetail grows a fruiting body, also known as a strobilus, with silica in it, and they would take it to score out ebony shells. This is the horsetail, and though it looks very soft, it actually has very hard cells. So these are examples of non-flowering plants which reproduce not by seeds and flowers as we know them, but by spores.